Hello, we'd like to welcome all of you to the Logan Mason County Recovery Oriented Systems of Care. It is August 25th, 2025, y'all. I mean, the year's almost gone. Um, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm in raw form. Like I said, I've been cooked up a little bit, so be careful. No, I hope we have a great meeting. We have some great information. We got some great people. So, um, it's 2:02. What do you think, Grace? Should we kick it off?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I didn't say my name is Jeanette Davis. I have the privilege to serve as the community health specialist for recovery supports here in Logan and Mason County. Um, our agenda today, we're going to talk about what is a ROSC and our mission, introductions. We'll do some updates, our quote, and go over our local meetings, information, harm reduction resources. And today we are going to have an agency highlight. And we're going to hear from our dear friend Naomi from the Pavilion. So we're glad to hear she's here. And then we'll go into what's coming up. And then we'll be on our way. Cool? Thumbs up? Yeah. I can't see anyone. All right. What is a ROSC? Um, why do I go over this every time, Molly? Right? Um, we do it so we never lose sight of what we're a part of and what we're working on. So ROSC is a coordinated network of community-based services and supports that is person-centered and builds on the strengths and resilience of individuals, families, and communities to experience recovery and improved health, wellness, and the quality of life for those with or at risk of substance use and or mental health challenges. The central focus of a ROSC is to create an infrastructure or systems of care with the resources to effectively address the full range of substance use and or mental health challenges within communities. So big charge, a lot going on there. And so for us here in Logan and Mason, we have pulled out our mission statement. And that reads like this: improving access to health, wellness, and holistic recovery options for people who are at risk of or suffering from substance use disorder, while educating and connecting Logan and Mason counties to reduce stigma and improve recovery outcomes. So definitely some big goals in there that we have, but that is our guiding force. So we're going to do introductions today. Well, if you could share your name, your organization affiliation, what brings you here. And the question for the day: who was your favorite teacher growing up? And it should say and why. You know, I'm not going to just leave it at that. I got to have that and why. So Grace, I will let you kick it off there, and then we'll do the in-house. Is that all right?
Yeah, I will start. So I'm Grace Irvin, Prevention Coordinator for Logan Mason ROSC. Livingston ROSC, Logan Mason Substance Use Prevention Grant, and the base grant. Was that four? No, that three? I don't know.
A lot of grants.
Whole lot of grants. I'm on four. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Favorite teacher growing up. So one of my favorite teachers, okay, so his name was Dr. Romance. And
Dr. What?
yeah, Dr. Romance.
Okay, so I've heard it right. I just got it.
You sure did. You sure heard it right. So Dr. Romance was a PE teacher at Metcalf, and he also was are in charge of the circus at Metcalf. So Illinois State University has Gamma Phi Circus. So he brought over Junior Gamma Phi Circus to Metcalf. So the students there could have an opportunity to do things that college students do. It was really cool. But he definitely strived to make sure that every skill out of all the kids would come out, but he cared so much about every kid. And you could tell by how much he poured into that program, but how much he poured into all the kids.
I love
yeah.
that. Thank
Tyler,
you.
yeah, Tyler, you can go, and then Bryson, and then Cami.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tyler Winger, Prevention Specialist at Chestnut Health Systems. I'm on the Substance Use Prevention Services grant in service Logan and Mason County. And my favorite teacher was my second grade teacher. Every time I handed in an assignment and got it back, she wrote in the margins exactly what I did wrong and could improve upon. So that was very helpful.
That's so Tyler. I love it.
All right, Bryson.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bryson McFadden. I'm outreach worker with Oxford House Sober Living Homes throughout Central Illinois. I cover Sangamon, Logan, Macon, Champaign, and somewhat of Effingham County. And I don't really remember too many of my teachers. I remember my kindergarten teacher was Mrs. Manning. I don't remember why, but that name sticks out to me. But then also in sixth grade, my English teacher, her name was Mrs. Rasso. And for some reason, I don't know, English was like my favorite subject. And the way she like broke it down, we had like reading days, and I don't know, but something just sticks with me ever since then.
Thank you.
Sammy, Cammy, it all sounds the same, right? I am Samantha Martini. I am a person with lived experience, and I currently work at Family Guidance Center here in Springfield. I'm a community outreach worker. My favorite teacher would have to be Miss Farwell. She was my first grade teacher. And I don't, she just sticks out, I think, because of her kindness, and I moved around a lot. So, new teachers were kind of scary, but she was very nice and kind to me. So.
Awesome. Thanks, Sammy. For those who are hopping on, our introduction, we're on introductions at this moment. So it's our name, organization, / affiliation, and then who was your favorite teacher growing up and why? So next we will have Abby, and then Lisa, and then Kara.
Hi everyone, I'm Abby Behrens, and I'm with Prevent Child Abuse Illinois. And I don't really have a favorite teacher. The first thing that comes to my mind is my social studies teacher in high school. He knew that like I worked and was an athlete and like did all the things or whatever, and so like he would always send us home with our grade report like weekly, and if we brought it home and had our parents sign it, they would give us extra credit. And I worked, so I like would get home and my parents were already sleeping, so I would just write mom, like MOM, and he would still give me the extra credit. So that was pretty sick. So I liked that.
Oh, I love it.
Love it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa Latham. I'm with West Central Illinois AHEC. AHEC stands for Area Health Education Center. Our host site is Memorial Hospital in Carthage, Illinois. And my favorite teacher was my band teacher, Mr. Schmink, and he just made band just amazingly fun. I was a band geek the whole way through since 5th grade to my senior year. So played clarinet, and I just will always remember him. He did leave and take another job at another school. I remember we were all bawling our eyes out. And so, of course, his replacement couldn't fill his shoes, but I mean, really, the second band teacher was also really cool too. So.
I would like to replace mine with my band teacher because Mr. Hernandez was great. Cami, would you? Oh, it's Kara and then Cami.
Yeah.
I'm Kara Davis. I'm the Director of Nursing at the Logan County Department of Public Health, and I know that I am only a block away, but it has been a hellacious month for us here, and so I am trying not to leave my office. My favorite teacher was Mrs. Tanner. She was my 4th grade teacher, and she was just so fun and full of life. And what's fun now is she actually lives catty corner from me. And during COVID, her kids all live at a town and a couple of them out of state. And I would go over, their husband passed away a couple years before COVID. So I would go over there and go and pick up her groceries and whatnot so she didn't have to leave. And then we shared books, and her taste in books, it's funny now that I'm an adult, is some erotic romance, which is kind of funny seeing that now when I look at my 85-year-old fourth grade teacher sitting on her front porch surrounded by her geraniums reading erotic romance novels. So, but yes, Mrs. Tanner was my favorite teacher, and I still see her on a regular basis.
I love it. And Grace is holding her mouth. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Amazing.
Molly had some like a faction here talking about that's the population.
That's the highest population of people that read that kind of material. Like,
I think the word was smut.
She has notes in her books too. Like she would show, she's like, you have to read this book, and she has all these notes in it. And I'm thinking,
How funny.
does she have some dementia? Like what's going on? But no, she doesn't. She just likes to make
That's
notes
funny.
in her erotic smut novels.
Love it.
More power to her.
All right, Cami.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. It put me in safe driver mode, which I'm not even driving, sitting at my desk. So sorry about that. I'm struggling today. I'm Cami Garrison. I'm the statewide ROSC technical assistant for Region 3. My favorite teacher was in high school, Mr. Owens. He was a history teacher. He was just a cool guy, and he knew a lot about history, and he would tell us stories. And like, even the most rowdy, obnoxious, dumb kids would just sit there with our mouths open, and he would tell stories about wars and battles, and he made it so interesting. And I swear it's the only thing I learned all through school was history stuff, and I'm still a history nerd, so I thank him for that.
Awesome. Thanks, Cami. All right, Carmen, Kristen, Jody, Dominic.
Hello, I'm Carmen Lanham. I'm with Family Guidance Centers. I am a prevention integration coordinator. I'm on the Regional Substance Use Prevention Integration Center grant. And then my favorite teacher growing up would have had to have been my art teacher in high school. Sarcasm was both our first languages, so we got along very well. By the time it was my senior year, I was calling her Sue, which was her first name. That's just the level we got to. But yeah, she was just kind of like your typical oddball type art teacher, and we just got along very well. There was a lot of bantering and stuff that went on. I would always just be in her classroom any chance I could get. So
That's nice.
Awesome. Thanks, Carmen.
Hi, I'm Kristen Davis. I do the same thing that Carmen does for Family Guidance Centers through the RCEPIC grant. I have a tie for my teachers. My middle school gifted enrichment teacher, because she put up with our antics as gifted students because we were nuts. But she also taught us a lot of really good things, and guided us through a really awkward time in your life, if you remember middle school. And then my high school calculus teacher, she was Mrs. Dr. Stone. Because I passed her class. That was the best thing. I didn't understand calculus. She couldn't figure out why I didn't understand calculus, but she kept me passing, and I was eligible for sports the entire time.
Love it.
Love it. All right, Jody.
Hi, I'm Jody Howitter. I'm with All In Wellness Professional Counseling Services in Havana, Illinois. I would have to say that my favorite teacher would have been Miss Karen Barrett. She was my fifth grade teacher, and she is just an incredible human being. And I'm so happy I had the privilege of being in her class as a fifth grader. She was just a very sweet lady.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi guys, Dominic Valenti, Chestnut Health Systems as a community health specialist with Tyler on this Logan and Mason County Substance Use Prevention Grant. I would say my high school German teacher. He was probably my favorite teacher. I mean, he was the one who encouraged me to go to Germany and Austria during high school, and then also do it as my second major for college too. So I'd say probably my favorite teacher.
Very cool. A little world traveler there.
Awesome.
All
Deb,
right.
we're gonna have Deb Beckman, you cut out when you were giving your intro. Do you want to try one more time?
Oh, darn, you missed it. Deb Beckman, statewide ROSC team. I was just explaining my favorite teacher was Mr. Wells. He was my 8th grade teacher, and he would stay after school with me to work with me on spelling words because I was the spelling bee champ for Clinton County. And I went on to regionals and got to I think I was the second one. I didn't win, but I got second place, so that was pretty cool. But to this day, spelling words stick in my head. Like I drive past something and I see spelling errors, they just jump out at me all the time. It's very annoying. But that's my story.
Never read any of my papers.
Right. I'm just saying, spell check ruined me, Deb. That's all I got to say about that. Well, thank you all online. Well, I am Jeanette, as I said, and I'm tied too. My 3rd grade teacher, Mr. Stores, I loved him because he had us have a little what do you call it? Chalkboard on one side and dry erase board on the other in a little plastic baggie that we keep in our drawer. And so that's how we would pull it out and do answers and whoever. Anyway, whatever that whole deal was, because I'm a kinesthetic learner. I loved that. He was just super, super, super fun. But then there's Mr. Crystal, who was my 6th grade teacher, and he was one of the most coolest. I remember him hippie teacher, but he would bring the most incredible things to our classroom. We got to dissect a frog in 6th grade, which is unheard of, but he fought for us and thought we were mature enough. Now, the other thing that I remembered him for, and thank goodness I never had to do, he made class so fun that we really didn't have a lot of behavioral stuff going on. But when we did, the punishment was he had one of those huge Webster dictionaries, the old school one. And so if you had the consequence of a bad behavior was you had to copy verbatim just one whole page, but one whole page. And so I just thought that was a very unique, memorable consequence that I never had to take, but yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. Pass.
Hi, my name's Naomi Willis. I'm the community liaison with the pavilion. I'll kind of reserve that and I'll tell you a little bit more about what we do soon.
Who's your favorite teacher?
Oh yeah. My high school honors biology teacher, Mr. O'Malley, he was never afraid to admit that he had no idea what the answer to a question was.
Love that.
But there was one time where someone was asking him, Mr. O'Malley, what is this? And we were dissecting sharks, which was super cool. And he goes, well, this is, it's a part of the male reproductive organ. This is a testy. And then they cut it open and he goes, Mr. O'Malley, it was pregnant.
Yeah.
So it was not. But that was the one time that he got caught immediately.
Right.
So.
Oops. Kendra Day, Memorial Behavioral Health. I am community engagement, and I'm now officially again a CRSS. Oh goodness. And my favorite teachers were Mr. and Mrs. Prosy. I went to a two-room schoolhouse, and so 1st through 4th grade was Mrs. Prosy, and then 5th through 8th grade was Mr. Prosy. And so it was a really cool way to kind of grow up. A lot of one-on-one attention.
I'm Silas. I'm from Community Action. I don't know if it counts as growing up, because my favorite teacher by far was Dr. Vincent, who was my state and local politics professor and model Illinois government advisor. And it was just awesome.
Very cool.
Davy Hernan, I'm a community health worker for SB Family Medicine here in Lincoln. And I think my favorite teacher was my high school physics teacher, Miss Lawrence, because you'd ask her for anything, and if she didn't have an answer, she would find it out for you. Like the time I asked her when we started using time zones, because I was just curious. She came back to me the next day, and we all talked about it, which I thought was really cool. So that's cool.
Uh-oh.
I'm Molly McCain. I'm a community health consultant for Lincoln Memorial Hospital. My favorite teacher would probably be my high school physics and geometry teacher, Mrs. Harberts. She made learning so fun, and she also would wake up those who fell asleep with a Nerf gun.
That would be great.
She kept it interesting.
Very fun.
I'm Jeff Nelson, person with lived experience. I have no title. My favorite teacher was Pam Ryerson. She was my foods teacher. She made me like cooking more than anything else. Back in that time, I loved cooking. I still do today. Good teacher.
Thank you. All right, y'all. We're gonna keep forging forward. Updates, event updates. So let's see, August 9th, we had our Breaking Barriers events, which I'm going to let Sammy share about.
Say what?
Me?
You.
Oh, okay. I think it was an amazing event. We had a pretty good turnout. The speakers were absolutely phenomenal. Like it says right here, when Chief spoke, one of his most powerful quotes or words that he spoke, he said, "I see you," being able to have that event and, feel like we're all on the same page was pretty impactful for myself. We had a few tables set up. We had some really yummy food. It was super hot, but it was definitely worth it. I am not too sure what Jeanette wants me to say because this is really, like thrown on the spot. But we definitely broke some barriers, that's for sure.
That's good. No, I think that's it. How many speakers were there?
There were 3.
Awesome. And it was Chief, Kaylin, and
I am not sure what the other one's name was.
I can see his face.
I can see his face too. I don't know him as well as I know the other.
Well, the cool thing about Chief and Kaylin though is that Chief had arrested Kaylin.
Yes, he did. Kaylin said that he was down before Chief actually tackled him, but he did say that it was on camera. So, but it was very, very impactful to watch that, to go from I don't know, it was one of them things where you just had to be there.
I know.
It was so amazing though, coming from, I'm a person with lived experience too, and honestly I don't, when I woke up that morning I was like, I can't believe that I'm super excited to go and hang out with the police, but I really was, and it was a really good event, so.
Yes. All right. Well, they are trying to get back in, but I'm going to keep this ball a rolling.
Oh, that's why she gave it to me, huh?
Well, that was probably for the best. No, it wasn't, but it's okay. So the quote of the month is, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not, from the Lorax. Jeanette, thought that this was a really powerful quote. I think that really kind of speaks a lot to what we're trying to do as a ROSC. Yes, Dominic, clap of the hands. Unless someone like you cares a awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So, yeah, I don't know. You just like let that soak in with you. We just want to remind that we have updated flyers and cards. So if you do need any, let Jeanette know and she can get you those. We also have community resource cards for Logan and Mason County. Our SMART recovery meetings are on Fridays from 12 to 1:30 at Hope on 5th, where they are meeting currently, upstairs on the second floor where this meeting is happening in person right now. They are a couple of women's groups happening. Wednesdays at 9 a.m., the peer support group empowering women on their recovery journey. So that's happening at 5th Street. And A Woman's Way Through the 12 Steps is on Sunday from 1 to 3:30 at Hope on 5th as well. And then we also have some Mason County recovery meetings. Odds and Ends Peer Recovery Support Group. Those are happening on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. at the Havana Hardee's, but when it's really, really nice out, like right now, those are happening probably outside at the Riverfront Park. And if you have any questions about those, you can call or text that number on the flyer. And they also have a 12-step AA meeting, Recover Out Loud, on Fridays at 6 p.m. at the Havana Church of Christ in Havana. And so that started up in March, which was really exciting to get those going. Our Logan County Harm Reduction resources. So we have the Family Custom Cleaners, Logan County Health Department, Mount Pulaski Library District, Logan County Courthouse, a Hope on 5th, Logan County Jail Lobby. What is now going to be something is all the libraries in the state of Illinois is going to have harm reduction resources. So we do know that the Lincoln Library will have one, so we will add that on our next meeting onto this. And so we are going to work with Elkhart. We're going to get into Elkhart Library soon, which is really exciting. But with Mason County, we already are in all the libraries, which is very exciting. So bada bing, bada boom, we're killing it. So with Mason County, we have Havana Public Library, Manito's Foreman Valley Public Library, and Mason City Public Library.
But before you
Do you want your video?
went to, no, before you went on, I kind of whispered to the people here in the room if they heard about the new law, and one yes and the rest no. So I thought we would enlighten folks and educate ourselves. So January 1, it is going into state law, right? State law, that every library is to carry naloxone.
And they're actually supposed to be trained on how to administer it too.
Yes, and they're to be trained on how to administer it as well. So we are, like Grace said, we're so grateful that, a lot of our libraries have already come, along. But I hope you guys, knowing that information, you can encourage, your friends and to perhaps go to their libraries and have that discussion before it feels like it's, pressed down their throat. Perhaps we can help that process or anything like that. So just wanted to, I was shocked when I found out too. So I thought I want to share what I learned. So thought I'd throw that in there.
Can I give a shout out?
Yeah, shout out, Molly.
Shout out to Kara because she's gonna help train the Lincoln Public Library in person. Because they do have like a PowerPoint they can send out to all the libraries, but Mike Sarassi, the director, would ask if they could do something in person. So
awesome. Shout out Kara Davis. Woo woo. All right. I'm gonna let you, because it's just I'm gonna let you go on, Grace.
Okay. Well, the last one in Mason County was the health department also has naloxone and fentanyl test strips. Great segue is Naomi. So Naomi is up.
Oh wow, you made me on this slide. That's cool.
She sure did.
Your slides are in there.
Yes, and they're also, so we actually have them both here. So That's awesome. Very cool. So thank you guys so much for having me. We just we get to do this in a fun little hybrid way. So and really my presentation is a lot shorter than it used to be because I feel like it's most helpful to give you information, and then even if you don't remember anything I said, that information will show up in your email. So if you do not, so I wrote down everyone's names that's in the call. If you're in the email list, I can just pull your email from there and I will send this out to you as well. Alrighty, so if we want to go to the next slide. All right, so I'm going to introduce myself a little bit. I'm going to give you a fun fact / gift. And then I'll talk a little bit about Pavilion. I know you may have, some people in this room may already have my gift, but we'll find out in a second. Alrighty, so this is the best way to look at our map and see if I am located blank, who do I contact if I have questions? So I'm purple. So if you live in the purple area or you work in the purple area, you can give me a call if you have any questions. If you are in the blue area, you can call my colleague Scott, but also if you're watching my presentation, you'd feel more comfy just giving me a call. You can just give me a call and we'll get things set up for you. So here's my gift for you. Okay, so has anybody in this call, have I cured hiccups for you yet?
No.
I'm so excited when I get to a room where I haven't done this before. So I don't know if, the reason why I do this is because the mind is a lot more powerful than we think it is. And if you can give an example to someone who has absolutely no conceptualization of what that looks like, and one this impressive, it changes the game. And that's why I wanted to give that to you. So one, you'll never have hiccups for more than a couple seconds again. And two, you have this to own whoever it is that you need to. So the cure for hiccups is that if you walk into the bathroom or in front of a mirror, you can literally pull your phone out and you see your own face. You say, I am not a fish. Hiccups are not real. You don't need water. As long as you say all of those things, it reminds your brain that hiccups are a reflex from when we were still fish and that we do not need water. I'm not even joking. They will stop immediately.
You know what I'm thinking? That's what I think. Like, I'm thinking, where's the candy camera to see how?
No. But here, yeah, right. So here's the thing. It's like, I can't, even if I had a video of me standing in the bathroom, I'm like, someone could be like, that's fake hiccups. I don't know how to fake hiccups. So, you know, you can believe that if you want. But the thing is, the rush of dopamine that you experience the moment that it happens is one of the strangest things I've ever had happen, because you're sitting there and you're like, oh my gosh, the mind is actually much more powerful than we realize. It's that strong. Because if you're sitting there, because imagine how many times you've had hiccups. Like, I get the ones that hurt too. So I'm sitting there and I'm going, ow, ow. I'm pretty sure I did that during a subs meeting once. But now I don't get them anymore. So first of all, at a bare minimum, I've at least relieved you of annoying hiccups. So you're welcome. But otherwise, I gave you a really great example of how to show people that the brain is a little bit more powerful than we tell people. Alrighty. So Pavilion. So we are an organization that provides inpatient services for adults and adolescents that are dealing with mental health and substance use disorders. So we offer secure psychiatric services, which means this is when you cross the threshold, or an individual crosses the threshold to needing more support to guarantee their own safety. So that's a really, really good resource for us to serve as. We make sure that your person has support while they're dealing with one of the most difficult experiences in their lives. It's not easy, but you want to make sure that they're safe and that they're supported. So when it comes to our program, we do have that inpatient for adults and adolescents. We also have a 28-day program, which is residential for substance use. So the reason why I like to say our specialty is because it becomes the most helpful when you're dealing with someone who may also need that extra psychiatric support as well. Because if they're at the 28-day program and say you get to something, and you know, if you're touching something that you haven't talked about in a very long time, there's a good chance it could re-trigger some mental health stress. So if that's happening, worst case scenario, we're moving to a different unit so we can make sure that that's taken care of before we're back to the 28-day program.
I see on here detox. You guys do offer detox. So we offer detox. There are a couple of substances that we do not offer detox for. One of those is going to be meth. However, this is where I say if someone is detoxing from meth, but they're experiencing psychiatric symptoms that do put them over that threshold of, say, they're not perceiving reality,
or, they may need support to make sure that they're safe, then that still constitutes an admission. So they're still eligible for a service. It's just we don't have methamphetamine detox as a service on its own. So it would be, we kind of have to work with our admissions and figure out what the best way is.
The reason why, guys, I made sure to stop is that fewer and fewer detox options are out here. And so knowing, I did not know either the Pavilion offers it. So Chestnut did at one point, we no longer do. So put that in your toolbox if someone is needing detox.
Absolutely. And the nice thing is, the reason why I give my number at the beginning is if you want any clarification, if you ever need that info, please feel free to give me a call. If I am doing a presentation like this and can't answer in the moment, the least I can do is text you and say, hey, can I text you the answer to that question? I'm currently in a meeting. But I'm more than happy to answer anything that you have. Alrighty. So keeping it simple, our admissions process, we have 24/7 walk-ins. However, this is where I want to make sure our 28-day program is for admissions to our 28-day residential substance use program. Call ahead and say, hey, this is what I am looking for. Because a lot of times they're going to ask for some questions. They'll ask, about, it's pretty much your standard screening for a substance use program. But based on the answers to those questions, what they may do is they may schedule you for inpatient, or they may schedule you for a direct admission. So if they schedule you for a direct admission, that assessment that's taking place on that day, that is going to be the determinant of whether or not you're able to get into the program. So it can be difficult because you're scheduling, hey, I'm going to come to Champaign, and that in-person assessment doesn't necessarily guarantee that you get in, but that's only for our residential program. So again, if they're still meeting criteria for our psychiatric services, then our walk-ins are a great opportunity. The only other kind of bump in the road, but the nice thing is we work pretty well with Lincoln Memorial, and we're working well with Mason District. We work with the EDs as well. So if you're not sure there's a medical issue going on and they're sent to the ED, you can call me and say, hey, we have them at the emergency room. Can you keep an eye out and just make sure that everything goes well? Because if we get that referral coming in, we're already talking to the hospital. Worst case scenario is they get referred to a service very similar to ours. It's just they responded faster. I obviously like to be involved because I'm a little control freak, but I'm just happy when people get connected with services. So how can we work together? So connecting and growing resource networks. I love getting to know people. I love meeting people. I talk too much sometimes. It's very fun. A lot of people that I've met at work have told me they like when I talk. That's new. But I guess I have a lot of good info, so I can't complain too much. Become a referral partner. You can absolutely send me a message, even if you want. So on the next slide, there will be my contact information. There's a QR code that you can scan directly. And I just learned this, by the way. If you're on an iPhone, I freaked out for like 10 minutes about this. That's how cool I thought. If you're on an iPhone, there's a QR code on your screen. You can just like tap and hold it and it'll take you to the link. So when you see that in a second, you can just send me a message, say, hey, I'd love to become a referral partner. Is there more info that you can get me? And we can set up a time where I can walk you through everything. Collaborate on events. I love resource tables. Those are my favorites. So please do invite me to your events. You need someone to hang out, give out some pens, be friendly. I'm good at that part. So I can keep my energy up. So invite me to your events. I will do some Saturday stuff too. So don't count me out for those. Alrighty, so questions. And then you can go to the next slide where my contact info is at. So if you want, you can scan that. You can click it. I don't know if that works on Zoom. Let's find out. Okay, it doesn't work on mine, but if you take a screenshot of that QR code, later on, you can hold down on it and my contact info will magically show up in your phone.
Yeah, no, Molly changed our lives.
Oh, it does. It does. I promise. Don't worry. I was very skeptical at first as well. But yeah, thank you Thank you so much for listening to me and being flexible with our lovely technology situation. Although I can't complain too much. I love not having my face visible when I'm talking. So, because everyone in the room here is watching me talk to my phone like I'm losing it, and that's okay. But no, I never. Not for more than 10 seconds. It's so amazing. Like I know that seems silly, but it's such a small thing. Where when you think about how cool that is, like it's like if we can do that, there's a lot more that we don't know about how our brain and body interact. So absolutely.
Any questions, folks? in the room, online?
It's a good place to stay. I was there years ago.
All right.
Thank you for saying that.
I have a question. Is the detox medicated detox?
So like medication assisted?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for Sandy asking that clarifying question.
Absolutely.
It is different.
And it's gonna look different for each person. So if there's you know, like a supportive MAR treatment that they maybe are not very interested in, or one that they've used before, that's something we can work with our providers. But we're equipped to handle most. And if there is a medication, so there are certain doses of methadone that maybe if someone is detoxing, they may be a little bit high for our unit, but what we would do is we would either refer out or we would ask, hey, you know, are you comfortable tapering down from that? But methadone is one of the only ones that we're not able to provide higher than a certain dose.
And then can they do assessments over the phone as well? Like, cause we're located in Springfield.
So for our 28-day program, that's something that we've been working on with them. We don't do phone screenings to directly admit. So in those cases where you have someone that's wanting to come in, they will, like, that assessment will be what determines whether or not they're able to admit. But if it's a question of availability, you can just give me a call and I'll let you know what those beds are actually looking like.
Okay. And then for the detox part of it, can they just talk over the phone to see if they can be admitted?
Yes. Usually they'll just say, hey, that sounds good. Why don't you go ahead and come in?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Great question, Sammy.
5 to 7 day, that's for mental health.
Yep. And so the 5 to 7 days is our average length of stay for adults. It totally depends on the person. So if they're meeting criteria and they're showing, hey, there's still need to be here, we need to get meds right, we need to make sure the plan is good, then it might be a little bit more than that. That's just right now, that's what our metrics are saying the average is.
I have a customer here in town who experiences mental health issues and is homeless. Because of those issues, he's not really able to get into housing and wouldn't really be a great fit for a shelter like this where there's not supervision. So if I would convince somebody like that to come to that program, is there any kind of resource that would help them find stable housing afterwards?
We try to refer to a lot of the transitional shelters, but I'm guessing the resources would be pretty similar. So if there's a location, say they're talking to our discharge team and there's a location that they haven't been before, but they're describing a service that we're familiar with, like say the Dream Center in Peoria, maybe they're from Champaign and they just don't know about that resource, then our discharge team can say, hey, I know you're not from this area, but there's a resource that sounds a lot like what you're looking for, what might work for you. So they can definitely work with them. We've had people say, I never want to go back to blank Illinois. It's like, cool, where would you like to go? As long as we have a plan there and it's not nothing, we can get you set up there. Because for a lot of people, coming back to the place where all of the triggers are at is not going to be helpful right away. Absolutely.
Question: if someone's in the hospital detoxing, but they would like to get a referral to go to Pavilion, but they can't go in person, how does that work?
We do take hospital to hospital transfers, yes.
Cool. Okay.
They like to do a nurse to nurse, so they would speak to the attending that's at the facility they're at before they get that transfer started, but yes.
Awesome. Grace?
And I think it's important for people to know.
Oh, hold on.
Yep.
That like if they have a preference, like say you go to the hospital and they're like, okay, you need to be admitted inpatient.
That is true.
You have the preference. Like if you say, I don't want to go here, I want to go here, like people can voice that.
That's true. I haven't thought about that in a very long time, but
have parents that'll be like, we've tried like Imperial, it doesn't work out very well. Like maybe we want to try Pavilion, and so.
Yeah, and yeah, absolutely. And thank you for saying that, because so if there is a preference and you're saying, hey, I want to refer this person to a resource where I at least know I can get in contact with their treatment team, you can say, hey, can you send that referral to Pavilion? And then we can at least be the first to respond and say, hey, yes, or hey, no, we don't have that spot available, or it's just not going to be working out. But that's very true, is you can say that you have a preference for which facility.
do you have to say no, like not have space?
It is totally dependent on the day. What I can say is that we have a lot of people who cycle in pretty quickly. I would say our average for adults, at least, our average number of discharges and admits per day is somewhere between about 7 and 12.
I actually, I stayed in a hotel back and forth because you guys didn't have a bed. I had to wait for a bed, but you know, they checked me every morning when I came in, sure I wasn't drinking everything drugs. Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it. Got me so.
I mean, that's a really good way of making sure that we're keeping in touch with someone, even if we can't give them the service. So it's good to hear. It's something I'm going to write down and make sure we keep it up.
It was hard to hear, Jeff. I assume that's who it was. Can you repeat what he said?
So he was saying that, one, the food is pretty decent. And two, he said that when there wasn't a bed, he had stayed in town and they had checked in with him every morning until they were able to get him in.
I mean, I still attended.
Okay, so were you going to the PHP program? Some groups, just some groups.
Well, I was in there for alcohol, so I did a 28-day.
Okay, yep.
But for the first 5 days, they couldn't get me in. So
oh wow, that's awesome.
I walked a couple miles every morning to come in, a couple miles back, go home. Of course, I didn't have a license. The alcohol. So what I think he is talking about is something that we don't currently do, but I am now renewed in my passion to make that happen again. So at certain points we have a program where we have some people who are residential on site, but some people who are still attending groups, even though they're not currently living on the facility for the program. So I will definitely talk to my team and see what that looks like and maybe why, unless I'm mistaken, why maybe we stop doing that and if we can look more into that. 15 years ago, so
A lot has changed.
But it makes sense. You know how when you hear something and you're like, yeah, why don't we do that? That was one of those. So
because I really wanted to go, but they have the space.
Well, and we run into that sometimes too. And I mean, for some people, they're just not going to be able to live on site, whether it's, I have health insurance because I work and I work because I have this time that I'm available. There's different situations for everybody. So if you do have specific questions about, like how can we make this work? This is a barrier. Just let me know. I'm more than happy to work through it with you.
And I don't want this moment to go by without recognizing how blessed we are as a community to have folks that have this type of information. We don't always get that. And so to have friends at Family Guidance, to have friends at the Pavilion, it matters. And so please don't let that fall on deaf ears. That if you have people that are struggling that need to do treatment and whatnot, we just have beautiful people that not only are in the position to help, but they are in the heart posture to help. So thank you so much for your presentation and sharing about the Pavilion. I learned a lot. Now, Grace, since we're still going through this tech issue, I don't know if you would feel comfortable to go through the last bit of slides there online and I take care of the ones here. I just don't know how else. It's so awkward.
No, you're good. All right. Yeah, no, we have some upcoming opportunities. So one of them being our anti-stigma campaign. So reframing recovery. So we have Jeanette can really kind of speak more to that. Maybe. Did she leave? She sure left. Well, I will speak to it then. So our anti-stigma campaign. So this past year we've been launching it, and soon we will be creating boxes that will be going out that will have our campaign materials inside of them. But we'll be placing them around the community, but they'll also have little purple frames in them with our campaign materials, and they're going to be really cute. We'll be putting them around the communities, but we'll be partnering with Guest House and putting up our materials there at some point. But we are still trying to plaster our stigma campaign out into the community. So when we do post our posts on social media, but even if we do have any posters or anything like that, if you can help us spread the word about this anti-stigma campaign. We did our community survey last year. We did notice that a lot of people weren't seeing this. And so like we definitely see stigma in the community, and the survey definitely showed that. So that is definitely one thing that we want to share this with the community about, you know, changing language, and definitely showing like embracing your worth, what first person language is, and then some statistics like that. So next is our deflection program implementation planning. Our next meeting is coming up August 26th from 1 to 2:30. It will be at the Logan County Health Department. That is our beautiful logo that has been created. I really like how the hands kind of like pop with this background. Jeanette and I were really talking about it. It has nothing to do with this meeting, but we are very excited to how we're continuing with this. So if you haven't heard about the deflection initiative and would like more information, please reach out to Jeanette or I, or even Kara or Molly, and we can give you some more information on that. Oh, and also the deflection initiative also covers Logan, Mason, and Menard County. So we're really looking for people to represent Menard and Mason. We have a lot of representation from Logan County, but we need a little bit more representation from Menard and Mason County. So just throwing that out there. Next up is our Naloxone Saves Lives, a panel discussion. So our Recovery in Action group is putting this on. So it is our Overdose Awareness Day, which is on Sunday, August 31st. So it's going to be 3 to 4 p.m. So normally we do this on Facebook Live, which we still are, but now we're going to host it live on in person. So if you would like to join us live and in person, we are going to be doing that. And Sammy is also going to be one of our panelists. Actually, everybody in that picture will be a panelist. And Stacia, she don't have a baby right now, right? She pregnant still or no? No, she
just had her baby.
She just had a baby. Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, so it'll be exciting because this is the first panel that was ever on the overdose awareness. So that's a very exciting thing to have them all come back and do this again for our first time doing it in person and live on Facebook. So wish us luck, because we all love technology and it's all going to work for us. No, it will. I promise. The gods are with us. So it'll be on that Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. And if you're not able to catch it, don't worry. It'll be on Facebook and YouTube afterwards. If you have any questions, please reach out to Jeanette. The whole reasoning to doing this is to address stigma, to also give, a real conversation with real people whose lives were saved with naloxone, and kind of give a demonstration of, give a Narcan demonstration and have each person kind of talk through their story. And with a live audience, now we can have live questions. So it'll be very exciting. Next up is our Walk for Recovery. So we have our Logan County and our Mason County walk. So our Mason County walk will be in Havana on September 20th from 12 to 3. It'll be at the Riverfront Park. And then the Logan County will be Lincoln, Illinois at Scully Park on the 27th from 12 to 3 as well. So if you are able to, we'll send out a link again. We're looking for people to have tables, but even come and enjoy There'll be speakers, food, celebration of recovery from addiction, mental health concerns, and life challenges, because we want to celebrate that recovery can and does happen. So again, if you have any questions, reach out to us. All right, our Recovery in Action group is every second Tuesday of the month at 4:30 to 6 p.m. This will be September 9th at Hope on 5th on the second floor where this current meeting is happening in person. If you are able to come and help, we're always looking for people to come and join the group to help with event planning. But even if you're just like curious about what they do, just come on in. We're more like always welcoming everybody. Our next ROSC meeting will be Thursday, September 18th at 2 p.m. at the Mason District Library in Mason City, Illinois. If you have not liked us on social media on our Facebook page or Instagram, please do. Share our pages and our YouTube page. Check us out. And if you have any questions, please reach out to all of us. And thank you for taking the time out of your day to hang out with us. We really appreciate it, you know, bearing with us through all this technology loveliness. And yeah, so you guys have a lovely day. Thank you so much. That is all. Have a good one.